Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today we're going to make a card from the catalog. I'm going to show you how to create a card using vintage Christmas stamps from the mini July to December Stampin' Up! Catalog. So this card can be found on page 63 of the mini catalog, and I'm going to be making it pretty much exactly like it is shown here in the catalog. I am changing up the designer series paper because I just don't have the Splendid Day designer series paper that's used on this card. It's gorgeous DSP. I just haven't purchased it yet, so instead of using that, I'll be using a snowflake sheet from Storybook Gnomes. So it keeps the pool party color that's used on the card. And the other change that I'm making is I like to make cards, slimline cards, that are 6 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches instead of the 6 by 3 that the card in the catalog is. So I'm going to start by just attaching this 6 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of cardstock to my card base. And I'm just using liquid glue to do that. While I'm thinking about it, making this Christmas card made me think about my Christmas project tutorial that I am mailing to all of my newsletter subscribers. So if you're on my emailing list, every Friday you should be getting a Christmas project tutorial in your email from me. It's just my way of saying thank you for being on my mailing list and supporting me that way. If you're not on that mailing list, then by all means sign up. You have only missed one so far if you're watching this video the week of October 11th. And I'll be sending another one out Friday morning. So every Friday between now and Christmas I'll send another one of those out. And some of them are Christmas cards, Christmas tags. There's a lot of different things that I'll be doing. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I have this piece of crumb cake cardstock. I'm really loving all the crumb cake I'm seeing this season. And I'm just placing this right here inside my vintage bottle punch, trying to center it up. This piece measures 3 inches by 5 1/2 inches. I don't want it quite all the way to the bottom. I want to leave a little space there. So I'm just going to punch that out. There we go. See which side looks better. I'm going to go with this one. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is go ahead, actually no, I'm not going to get that out. We are going to be using the dome bottle pieces for this, but not yet. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and use my Versamark, after I use my embossing buddy, to stamp the flowers above the bottle. Just going to ink that up with the Versamark. So I'm putting this flower to where it's kind of halfway across the top of the opening for your bottle. Okay, then I'm going to use white embossing powder with this one. And I'm going to go this way as well. Then let's set that with the heat tool. Okay, I'm gonna admit I was a little nervous there before the embossing powder really started melting. I thought, oh no, is that detail gonna show on this one? Did I stamp it good enough? But look at that, it shows great. Okay, so the next thing that I'm gonna stamp is this little stamp with the pine cones, and I'm using Early Espresso ink to do that. So of course you want to line it up where the pine cones are pointing upwards. And the center of the flowers go inside the flowers, so that should help you line everything up the way it goes. There we go. I got mine a little off. That's okay. I'm just going to take a microfiber cloth and wipe some of that off. And then my flowers are good as new. Okay, so next I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm going to use those beautiful leaves. I'm just going to stamp those right here above the flowers. And then I'm also going to stamp these on a scrap piece of crumb cake. Now I'm going to use my paper snips to fussy cut around all of these leaves. So these I'm going to do together. And then the two on the left I'm going to cut individually. And you can get as fussy as you want with all this cutting. This is pretty tight. So something that I didn't do, but I recommend doing, is when you get ready to put these stamps on your block, line them up with the photos on the front of your package here and make sure that everything is lined up just right. I think I got it pretty close. These are just naturally really close together. So you can either stamp it again so that you have a little bit more space to cut these out, or you can just be really careful as you're cutting them out. Get it pretty close around these. Okay, and then these are the ones I'm cutting out individually. So these will just be very small little pieces. I was at a wedding all weekend, so I didn't have a lot of time to come up with something super creative, and I didn't have a lot of time to record. We've been gone for, I think, 4 days, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a wonderful weekend, and I came back quite exhausted. So I think when you come back that tired, either you've had a great time or a terrible time. And thankfully, we had a great time. We are really, really excited for this young couple that just got married. We have watched her grow up for the past decade or so, a little longer probably. And we're just really proud of the young lady she has become, and we approve of her husband too, which is really nice. He just fit right into the family. And we like his family too. So it's a win-win-win. And now I need to rest. Okay, so there's our pieces. So I'm going to use some dimensionals to put these on. I'm just going to go with the mini dimensionals because these are pretty small pieces we're looking at here. Okay, so this one is going to cover this up here. I'm going to use one dimensional on the back of this, and it is going to be added under the pine cone, right way up hopefully. There we go. See if I can fit a full mini dimensional on the back of this. I might need to trim it. Nope, it works. Okay, so this one is going to go right here, and I am just straight up copying that little picture in the catalog. Okay, so this one I am going to have to cut a dimensional in half. And if you want to, you could even just glue it straight onto your card. Okay, and it's going to go right here like so. So now I'm going to pull out, and I'm going to do things a little bit different from what I normally do. I'm going to go ahead and put this upside down. I'm using For Everything Fancy sequins to fill this little bottle up. So you could get these in the catalog. They come as a set. I love that you get so many with them. The blue is my favorite. I have used it quite a bit, but thankfully there's still quite a bit in here I can keep on using. So I have a piece of window sheet that I'm going to put over that to keep all that in. I just want to see. I'm going to add just a few more back in. We're going to call that good. So what I'm going to do now, and I usually don't do it this way, but there is a method to my madness. Oh no, I spilled it. Okay, so easy enough to remedy. Just going to use my grid paper here, pour that back in. Take out that dimensional backing. Okay, we're golden. I think I have one little piece left on my leg. There we go. Let's see if I can get this backing off a little bit better this time. I'm going to cheat and use my Take Your Pick tool. My word. Did you see that? I did it again, and this time I didn't have my paper underneath, and my sticky's showing. Okay, I'm going to clean this up, and I'll be right back. Okay. Thank goodness I cleaned my desk earlier today, so I didn't have to worry about random little bits of anything getting into this as I picked up all my pieces again. So before I can mess that up another time, I'm going to go ahead and just place this backing on here. And this is the part that I don't normally do, so I'm going to just trim around this. And I was going to tell you, while I'm trimming around this, this is a window sheet, and I do recommend getting window sheets, like purchasing them when you are doing, and I do, I never run out of window sheets, but this particular piece is actually the backing from a photopolymer stamp. When I get my photopolymer stamps, as I use them, I pull them off of this part, and I just put them, I mount them inside the stamp case. So you can save these pieces and put them behind any of your little shaker domes, and nobody will be the wiser. I don't recommend that for everything. You can do it, but usually there's a little bit of, let's see if you can see this. So can you see that little shadow around where the stamps were? That's really hard to get off. So I do recommend, if you're needing a window sheet for any other type of placement on your card, go ahead and order the actual window sheets so they won't have that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scrap piece of basic white and my mossy meadow, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says "Making Spirits Bright." There we go. Then I'm going to use my paper snips again. Oh my Lanta, look at that. Some days when I'm tired, I just make a lot of silly little mistakes. And that's okay. I think we all probably do it. And thank goodness I didn't get that on my card. I just got it on this scrap piece of paper that I'm tossing, literally tossing to the side anyway. So I'm just using my snips and as straight as I can, trimming around that. It's not perfectly straight, but it's good enough. So then I'm going to take your pick tool again, and very carefully, I'm going to poke a tiny little hole at the end of this sentiment. And it's good to put something like a mouse pad or a foam mat from Stampin' Up, something underneath that, so that you don't poke yourself like I just did. I have all of those things. But again, just kind of tired. Alright, so I've got my linen thread. I'm going to poke this through that hole. I'm going to trim it a little so that maybe it'll fit through there a little better, because I did not make very big of a hole. I got two of the strands in, but the third one didn't want to go, so I'm just using my take your pick tool again to maybe shove that third piece in there. There we go. That looks good, and I wrinkled up the end of that a little bit, but that's going to be okay, because I will end up tying a bow over this. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this around. Then I'm going to place this underneath, right here. So your bottle should fit just perfectly right inside that, and it'll hold that linen thread down. It's not going to go anywhere. And just to be sure, we'll add some tear and tape on the back and help hold that down even stronger. So there's that. So I'm just going to put a couple of little pieces here. One right across here. And then one right across here. So now I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to put this on the card base, and we are almost finished. I want it somewhat centered vertically and horizontally, so I'm just moving that up just a little bit. And moving it over just a little bit. Just tie yourself a little bow. And the good thing about doing it this way is your bow can face exactly how you want it and be just as big as you want it. So there is that. I'm going to put my bow right there, and I'm going to use just a little glue dot, half of a glue dot, to attach it. There we go. So I'm going to place that right here. Tell you what, this Take Your Pick tool comes in handy for so many things. And that is perfect. That is really on there good now. And there is our card from the catalog. Like I said, this one I did not change a lot. I just basically changed up the designer series paper to match something that I had. And I changed the size of the card just a skosh, just simply because I like the 6 1/4 by 3 1/4 size a little better than the 3 by 6. But that's the great thing about card making, is you can make it be whatever you want it to be and fit your style and your dimensions and your supplies. So thank you for watching this video. I wanted to remind you that through October, Stampin' Up! Is offering a joining special for everyone who joins Stampin' Up! Who purchases the starter kit. In the US, that starter kit is $99. Typically, you can pick $125 worth of items to go in that kit, but through October 31st, you can pick up to $155 worth of items in your starter kit, and you get to build that kit. It's all you, so whatever you want to put in it, then you can, as long as it is from a current catalog. So, and I can help you with that if you need help. And then there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no commitment. You are not committed to sell Stampin' Up! You can simply enjoy the discount if you would like. So if you are interested in joining my team, then contact me via email or comments on this on YouTube or on my Facebook page or my blog. I'll be happy to get in touch with you about that. Or you can join on my website today. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you really enjoyed it and haven't subscribed already, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button for future emails. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy stamping.